All right, hi guys. So we're going to go over Chapter 9, which is the defensive zone coverage. So we briefly discussed a little bit about it earlier in the previous chapters, but we're going to be going over a little more in depth. But before we get into more advanced, the defensive zone coverage, our positions and how we play and the techniques. And this zone is very important to limit the shooting opportunities that the other team has. And it allows us to gain more puck possession, and it will make our opposition frustrated, turn over the puck. We can move out of the zone. It's very important to use a lot of good positioning. So if we go in, so the defensive zone coverage, it's a coverage once the offensive team has set up in our own zone, and all 5 defensive players, which are in this case the D players, the 3 forwards, 2 defensemen that are in their own zone, are also in the zone. This may happen off face-off in the D zone after the opposition enters the zone and takes a shot on net, or when opposition enters the zone and maintains the puck possession for several seconds. Key principles of the defensive zone coverage. Number 1, you maintaining mid-ice positioning. We've got to be positioned. Number 2, stay between the puck and the net. Be ready to block shots. Always keep your stick on the ice. See the puck, see your man on man, and find the stick on rebounds to clear the puck. So if we look at this diagram here, it's just an example. So let me get my pointer out. Okay, so we don't want, in this scenario, this is the offensive team. The D, that's who we are. Okay, we want to block these lanes for not them coming in. So if O1's skating around, D1's got to ensure to skate back a little bit. Well, we could play the puck too, but also we want this D a little back to keep that man or her coming into the net. We don't want them to generate that shooting opportunity. Also with this, D's coming back too, staying on 0-1, somebody's going to cover. Okay, sometimes we may have to move up and stuff. The 2-3 system. So that's where 2D work together with 1 forward, usually the center to cover down low, while the wingers cover the slot and higher areas. This is known as playing in your own zone without the puck. And development of defensive zone drills will be working on a lot in practice. And while in the defensive zone, all players should have an active stick, which is the stick is on the ice and it's always moving. And from having your stick on the ice, this takes away shooting lanes and leads to turnovers and transition opportunities like we just talked about at the beginning of the PowerPoint. So if we take a look, okay, in this scenario. So our left winger is going to cover this point. The right winger is going to cover this point. Our D2 is always in front of the net, okay, battling. So no one gets because the high slot is usually, or the mid slot is where they shoot a lot, and that's where a good scoring opportunity. So D, we always have to have somebody here. So in this scenario, it's D2. This D is going to come and body check or pin this guy on the boards. Center will be here to support. If the center needs to go in, he or she can do that. And to play low 3-on-3. So D1, F1, and D2 work together and play 3 low zones. And the 3 low zones are the hit zone, the support zone, and the net zone. So when we take a look at the diagram, okay, D1 is going in for the hit, like we just talked about. This is the hit zone right here. That's the hit zone. And we can't hit in our league, but we can go and, pin. So this is the hit zone. The support zone is where F1 is. So F1's looking and F1 needs to go in, may have to enter that hit zone too and come support. And then the net zone is where D2 is. So that's where we need to have, somebody in front of the net and covering and helping our goalie. We can't always have nobody in front of the net. We always got to have somebody in front of the net. So the first forward back assumes the position F1. The center needs to be in this position most of the time, which is F1 in this scenario. And this exchange may be, when appropriate, and players are less able to create interference or hold up players. Depositioning is crucial. So we can't be chasing too much. We got to be positioned to go at the right time. Okay, we have the hit zone. So, the first D player quickly closes on the puck carrier, makes contact with the opponent's body. It shows patience if the puck carrier has clear possession before you can get there. If you see opposing player's number, close quickly, and be careful not to hit them from behind. So in our game, we can't hit, but any scenario you don't hit from behind, you'll get a penalty and you'll get a 10-minute misconduct. You may be thrown out of the game. And if you see the player's logo, then contain, which means make the hit. And you're going to hold his or her position briefly, then cautionally go back at the puck carrier. And containing means keeping the puck carrier in a set pace by holding inside position and not letting him or her go to the net. So obviously we're going to be battling one-on-one most of the time, and then support will be there if we need it. And the goal is for all defending players to keep positioning between the opposing players and the goal you are defending. So if we take a look, the support zone, okay, the D player is aware of the puck carrier and closest passing option. Make sure the puck carrier cannot walk to the net. Walk means go to the net or skate if the first player gets beaten or falls down. Be ready to take away the opponent's closest passing option. And give yourself space to react to the movement of the players in the puck. You always want to give yourself space and time. That way you guys can move with the puck more and you guys can steal the puck. And at all times, stay away above the goal line and support coverage. Your defensive position should not have you rushing in this area. The net zone, okay, like we just talked about, those 3 zones I just showed you, okay? So one player, which is usually a D, must always be in the zone. And you must be aware of the third offensive player and play halfway to any overload shooters. And if a breakout occurs, be patient and don't leave this area unless replaced by a teammate. Always keep your stick on the ice and stay out of the blue crease, allowing the goalie to have free moment. So we always want to be patient. I mean, we don't want to be too nice, but we can't be chasing because that will open up more space for them. So like we just talked about, I showed you in a diagram, okay? These are the 3 zones. The hit zone, that's where, we body. We use the body. We go pin, we try to get the puck. The support zone. So if the puck comes out, somebody's here, or if someone needs help, this D, that support, which is usually the center, can go in and help. The net zone, there's got to be the D or the center in front of the net at all times because we don't want anybody in this area. We want to cover that area and make sure our opponents are not getting the scoring opportunity. We don't want them walking either. And then we had the strong side top zone. So F2 holds the inside position at the top of the slot, and F2 must be ready to slide out tighter to his or her point if the puck carrier has the ability to pass there or cover him or her tight if he or she comes into the slot. And when players cycle up high out of the corner, F2 must hold the top of the circle and deny inside access. Once a pass is made out to the point, F2 must approach the D in the shooting lane so as to take away a direct shot on the net. And then we have the backslide slot. And we'll go over them more in practice. I'll show you guys exactly. That way it makes more sense. So F3 slides down lower on the backside. And if the net D is caught out of position, F3 will protect the low slot. We must be aware of the backside point and sliding in, okay? F3, the D must be aware. And if F3 loses sight of where the backside D is, he or she will have an opportunity to move into a dangerous scoring area for a wide pass outside the vision of the goal. And F3 always has his or her head on a swivel. So that means paying attention, looking all directions. So if we take a look, okay, this diagram. Okay, so we have some scenarios. So we're taking a look. Here comes 0-1. So 0-1's this is our opponents in our own zone trying to score. So 0-1's gonna skate up or make the puck. F2 is gonna make sure he or she's covering that point so a pass can't be made. F3's got to do the same. So F3's got to be looking for that back door, which will have a D in front of the net, and F3's got to cover the point. That way F1 doesn't have a lot of opportunity, and that hit coverage, like we said, can go in there. So we need to have somebody here, and guess what? They're not going to have room to move the puck. All right, and then we have the low zone collapse. So all 5 defensive players collapse in a tight and basically play the opponent 5-on-3 low. And you could take away all plays to the slot by outnumbering the opponent and clogging up the scoring area. So what this means is you can make sure you're not giving them enough space to score. You can make it tight do not let them walk in easily. And this is used when the puck is below the goal line or after a point shot. And once the puck is passed out to the D, wingers who have collapsed and tight now move out to block the shooting lane. So as we look, okay, we're taking a look. So the puck's over here, okay. D1's going to the hitting zone. Okay, then F1's going to be here for support. D2 is going to be in front of the net. Remember, like we talked about, F3 is going to be covering that point. Okay, when the puck's to the point, F3 is going to move up. So like the puck's up here, F3 is going to come up and try to block that shot. And if the puck's over here, F2 is going to move up and block that shot from this D. Now we have the play low 5 on 3. So D1, F1, and D2 work together and play 3 low zone. The first forward back assumes the position of F1, okay? And the center would be in this position. And with the center exchanges can be made when appropriate. So, you know, like we say, if the D needs to go in and help, then the center has to come back in front of the net, for example. The other 2 forwards sync in tight as well. D2 moves to the strong side post. F3 plays close to the net, covering the low slot. And F2 denies the passes back to the point. So as we take a look, okay, so D1's going to go in the hitting zone, okay? And that quick pass is going to be made. So F1's going to have to stay here. Now, if D1 needs support, then F1 will come in. Then when that pass is made, when it goes to O2, O2 is going to skate up. F2's got to come up and steal that puck, okay? And then F3 will be here to cover O3 and with D2 as well. So D2 may have to go over here. D2 should always be in front of the net, and then F3 will cover this high slot here. Now we have the high zone coverage. When the offensive team moves the puck back to the point, F2 expands out and shoot it in a shooting lane. F2 should move quickly, but be under control when the D is ready to shoot. And get into the shooting lane when you anticipate a shot, so that way it doesn't go towards the net, and we can help our goalie. At all times, you may have to slide, or not all the time, sorry. At times, you may have to slide back and block the shot, okay? And F3 holds the slot by moving out slightly, and when the opponent passes the puck D to D, right, we talked about, F3 will move out in the shooting lane, and F2 rebounds back to the low slot. So as we take a look, okay, so D1's going to go in the hitting zone. Okay, F1's going to be here to support, like we talked about. The support is now. So this player, which is any other team, is going to pass the puck to the point. F2 is going to come up, try to block that. Okay, try to block that lane so that way 04 can't shoot. Then 04's going to nudge, okay, I'll go to 05, which is their D. So F3 is going to come up and block the shooting lane so they don't have a shot. Okay, and they're going to have trouble shooting that puck, and they can't get it. And we're going to, being aggressive like that, they're going to struggle and eventually turn over the puck to us, and we can use the breakout to execute the zone successfully. Now we have the half ice overload. So the D groups splits rink in half, trying to squeeze the offensive team to one half of the ice. And plays back to the backside are given up, but made difficult due to the number of bodies in the way and how tough it is to make a long cross-ice pass. D1, F1, and D2 take care of the strong side corner and will be playing the opponent 3-on-2 in that area sometimes. The 3D players squeezed in the offensive space the opponents have to work in. And once the puck is recovered, they quickly move it up the strong side, a space out wide side. F3 covers the slot and also shading to the strong side, which means covering. F3 must be aware of the opponent's third forward and cover anyone who comes to the front of the net while looking to see if the opposing backside D is moving into the scoring area. And F3 must be alerted at all times of this. F2 takes away the strong side D by playing closer to the boards, denying a pass to the strong side point. F3 starts going the inside circle, moves out to cut the players, cycling up the boards, and have an active stick to cut off passes to the point. Now we continue, and an advantage of this system is it's very difficult for the offensive team to find room to move and make plays on the strong side, and a disadvantage is that quick plays to the net may result in a 2-on-1 on F3 if the opposing D drives to the net and it's in front of the net, which is a difficult pass to make. So as we see, okay. So Let's take a look. So we see F1's moving in the inner, right? So D1's going to be chasing O1. O1's going to make that pass. F1's going to be pressuring O2. And then O2's not going to have room to work with. F2's covering the point. So if the puck comes up, F2 can get it. And our D2's moving down. F3's covering the slot. And if the puck goes up here, that's F3's responsibility. But on this play, F3 stays here, making it a tight game. And it will be hard for them. Then we have the man-on-man coverage. So the constant puck pressure and denying time and space to the opponent. D1 starts by pressuring the puck carrier, and after a pass is made, sticks with that player as he or she tries to get open. D1 doesn't want to follow the player when he or she doesn't have the puck is out to the blue line. D1 has the tight coverage on any players in slot. Then F1 pressures the pass, and if the puck is moved, F1 sticks to his or her man and continues with D2 in a low zone area. F2 and F3 have the responsibility for the opposing D, like we talked about. Covers the D at the point, whether they move in the slot or slide down boards. And if the opposition is creative and incorporates lots of motion, it becomes very harder and difficult to stay with their check. And it's very effective if the D are good skaters, because the offensive team will have minimum time with the puck before being pressured, and players away from the puck has trouble finding space to get open for a return pass. So if we take a look at this diagram, okay, so our forward, okay, F1. So in this scenario, we're the Fs, okay, our opposition is the O. So F1's going to be pressuring and trying to cover O2, okay, then O1's going to kind of, well, what happens is, okay, O1 has the puck. It's kind of like the cycle like we talked about. So O1's skating, going to dump it back in. So D1's making sure that O1 can't go to the net. Then once that puck is passed down, F1's going to have to come and play O2. Okay, D, or the net presence D right here is going to be covering O3, and F2 is going to be covering this D at the point, like we talked about, and F3 is covering at the point. Like we talked about, guys, like all this is a man-on-man scenario. We have to cover. If we cover our positions, we're going to be just fine in games. We'll be fine, and we'll win most of them. Now, we want to hustle too, but we got to cover our positions as well. And some situational guidelines for the defensive zone coverage. So when covering the active Ds, both F2 and F3 have a responsibility to cover the points that the opposing Ds moved into a scoring position. And if the D they are covering moves into the slot, cover him or her tight. And if the D slides down the boards, there's two options that can happen. Number one is to cover tight and move. It should be moved down. Move down the boards and into the corner with the D, and let the D go and hold inside the position. And once the opposing D is down low in the corner, he or she can be covered by their RD or the low forward. F2 or F3 sinks down and plays inside, but should not get dragged into covering a D in a non-scoring area. So we have, take a look, okay? So cover tight, okay? So F2 is usually covering the point. So if this D is coming down low, okay, then F2 is going to move down and cover tight. If the D is up here, okay, if the D goes down way too low, F2's got to stop here, okay, because they're going to be doing that rotation. Somebody will be up here, that will be F1 and D1's responsibility. Okay, on this side, if D's coming down low, F3's got to block the lane from them coming in and lifting their stick up. So that way, if this D comes down low, high slot, guess what? They won't be able to come in and they'll have a difficult time getting the puck. And then, like we said, probably this D will have to come up and cover F3. And handling the low 2-on-1 out of the corner. So this is sometimes there's a breakdown and the opponent attacks 2-on-1 versus a net defender. We must be patient, hold the net area at all times. And as the puck carrier advances, we must allow the goalie to take one offensive player while holding the mid-net position and defending pass across. Like we said, with the goalie, we like when it says this, we can't have the goalie trip them or anything. We got to have them just pay attention. Okay, so like we said, so I have the goalie take 0-1. Okay, so the goalie will like poke check it. Okay, if the offensive player comes up, the goalie will poke check and try to get that puck, so we're going to cover it as soon as possible. We don't want to jump out or anything. So that's our goalie's responsibility. We don't want them to jump out. They're going to be paying attention. But we want them to make it hard to get a shot. So if our goalie has to poke check, do whatever to make sure that puck doesn't come in. And when 0-2 comes into the high slot here, this D is going to be covering 0-2, so that way 0-2 is not open for a pass from 0-1. It's going to make tight space. That's going to make it difficult for 0-1 to come in. And then we have defending a player behind the net. So as we talk about, we have to first recognize that there's a player behind the net and intercept the pass or take it away. And we got to make it sure we're not giving them enough room to make that pass. And if it's an even situation, the pressure puck carrier, right, we got to pressure the puck carrier right away. And when pressuring, we have to force the puck carrier away from where he or she got the pass and away from support. And if player is unsure or the opponent has the advantage, wait to pressure until all defending players get back into his or her position. The right D flushes, okay, and the center holds mid-ice, aware of the back door. The left defender holds back post. So like when it says flushes for right defense, they're going down low, okay? The high winger's sinking tight. Once the flush starts, left wing will start to slide back toward the point while the right winger stays tight in the slot. And when opposing teams is below the goal line, we got to make sure only one D is below the goal line so that the D outnumbers the opponents in the house, which house is the scoring area. So if we take a look in this diagram, so right D, like we said, so this defender is going to be chasing this one, okay? And then once this for our opposition goes over here at the puck, this right defense is going to come back and play over here in the mid center, okay? Then the lefty will come down and go in the hitting zone. Like we said, the center will come down and support. And then when the puck goes up, or even right now, the left winger is be covering the point. The right winger is going to be covering the point over here as well. And here's a video for you guys to watch. Please watch this so you guys understand this better. And guys, I know it's a lot of information throughout the whole chapter so far, but please don't get really frustrated because we're going to be doing this in practice. We'll be explaining it more and it will be making more sense once we do it. And we'll do like game-like situations. We'll apply these concepts. But just make sure if you guys need help or anything, please make sure you get a hold of me. We can do anything. I'll do anything as possible to help you learn this information, okay? All right, guys, great job today and great work. We're getting close with almost done with the chapters, and you guys are really working hard. Keep up the hard work for the next few weeks. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.